Are you worried about buying Evil West and regretting that decision after you buy it? There's nothing like buying a game and moments later regretting that decision. The makers of Evil West are going against the grain and making this game a linear style experience with a story-driven campaign. The game is releasing in November, and there are some other games that you can buy in November that may have your eye. So let's talk about Evil West and if this game is for you. Welcome to Mr. Unleashed World. There is something about Evil West that most games these days do not incorporate, and that's a linear gameplay. There is a lot of multiplayer open world games which gives the player a whole bunch of tasks to do with the choice to do what they want within the game parameters. If this is what you are wanting in Evil West, then you're not going to get that full experience. Even though it's not open world, the game does give you a feel of an open world experience with the locations the game have for you to visit in the Wild West, like abandoned towns, ghost mines, and more, that adds to the overall experience of a dark and dangerous world. Location you visit will have puzzles that need to be completed, similar to what you would get in God of War. But guess what? There's no side missions that need to be done that will take away from the main storyline. Each stage will also have items that can be found, such as collectibles and money. If you look at this trailer, it looks like you are able to find weapons as well during a mission. You can see that Jesse found his flamethrower, aka the Scorcher, under a wooden floor. Money will be a necessity for you in this game, since that is how most weapons are upgraded in the game. So make sure you search long and wide for it. Where the game lacking the open world experience, it makes up for it with the action-packed combat and weapons. The weapons start off basic at first, but will level up as you unlock features for them. This means at first, playing as Jesse, you won't be extinguishing enemies at a fast rate, but after time will eventually become the monster hunter we know the game portrays him to be. The game favors the fighting style where multiple enemies will fight you at once, but you will have an assortment of weapons to choose from. As you make your way through the game, you will unlock more weapons to use in battle. If you are a person that don't like a lot of action going on at once, or have a little challenge with button coordination, then you might want to rethink Evil West, because this fast action game may be a learning curve for you, but it's also what makes the game unique. There will be multiple types of enemies that you will be encountering outside of the main four that was presented to us when the game first released. They will range from little monsters that are just annoying to gigantic overgrown monsters that will take more effort to defeat. The combos Jesse will be dishing out in battle, mixed with the sound effects from hitting your enemies, will make you excited for your next battle. Question for you. Are you a first person or third person type of gamer? If you are a first person gamer straight up, then that's okay, because Evil West third person genre seems to fit this game pretty well in a way you might still enjoy it. I don't see much issue of this being third person RPG, but there are people who just love first person shooter games, and Evil West probably could maybe benefit from being a first person shooter experience or having that option to change the camera to do so, but I don't think that's the case. I like the third person view for this game because it flows with how the game is set up. The developers give you the experience of seeing the weapons on Jesse attire and how he moves on the battlefield instead of just showing two hands with weapons. From the community chatter, there is not much pushback about the game being a third person experience, so if you really was hoping for a first person shooter, you might not be too upset due to what the game offers in combat and in the storyline. The game seems to have a pretty decent straight to the point storyline with some very intense scenes. The game have a few main characters that will be part of your storyline, like Edgar and Amelia Blackwell, but as you play as Jesse, you will come across some more interesting characters, some good and some bad, as the game moves along. If you are a fan of playing with someone else, then you are also able to run through the game with a partner in the co-op game mode. I'm going to put this out there now. The game is online co-op and not couch play. We did get a small glimpse of co-op gameplay, which was just two characters walking a trail in the official trailer. I noticed in the trailer that the partner you will be playing with in co-op would not play as Edgar, but as a second Jesse Rentier, from how this character looks in the trailer. I now believe you will not have the option to choose between another character in co-op, like Amelia Blackwell or Edgar or any of the other characters you might run across. Is this a big deal for gamers who are looking forward to co-op? I don't know. It could be a little boring not being able to play as a different character in co-op as you do missions together, but like I said before, I don't think co-op is meant to be a main staple of the game and more of a feature to have fun with a friend. Even though the game looks good graphically, this is a AA game with a price tag of $49.99 for the standard edition, and there was recently announced a signature edition with only 50 copies available. That includes a signed certificate from the artist Gabs, along with some additional things, and this is going for $99.99. It's kind of a steep price, but that's up to you to decide if it is worth it. The game will be available on consoles and PC. Just to inform you that the game will be primarily 60 frames per second, which I think is not that bad since the game is not a multiplayer player versus player game mode. Let me know if you are looking forward to Evil West. That is due to release November 22nd. Hit that subscribe button to keep up with Evil West, because as the game comes close to release, more information will be pushed out, and I'm sure you don't want to miss it. Welcome to Mr. Unleashed World.